Coming up, it's a service we've all used and benefited from at some point of time. The founder of JustDial, VSS Mani, up next. You've joined us on Starting Up. Now almost 200 crores of revenues, over 1,300 employees, and a service that caters to the entire country. We're talking about a firm that set quite an example in terms of quality of service. So VSS caught up with the founder of JustDial, VSS Mani, and chatted with him about the journey so far, the firm's upcoming IPO plans, and what the future holds.
The one I'm getting, that's an Asian paint, sir, on it a bit. Welcome to JustDial.com.
Yes, it's that voice which has helped relieve pain for millions of Indians. Today, JustDial can give you information from every city and town, not only in India, but also in the US. It all started with a vision of one man, VSS Mani. We caught up with him for this Starting Up exclusive.
I'm very honored to have with us today Mr. Mani, the founder of JustDial. Mr. Mani, one big question, everybody has the same question as to how JustDial really started, right? It's a big story of how you actually working with UDI at that point of time, United Database India, which is another listings company. Take us through how the idea struck you and how it really transpired.
Well, I was working for UDI. We started another company called Ask Me in '89. That was the time we wondered, is there a simpler way to disseminate information than actually leafing over yellow page directories? And the first avatar, of course, struggled to succeed because it was much ahead of time. And the second time around, we launched JustDial in 1996.
And Ask Me failed to succeed, and there were multiple reasons for it. How difficult was it to restart after one failed venture?
Okay, the second time around, it's your family and friends who are not in support. They would say that, oh, this is a failed idea, why would you want to do it again? But I was so passionate about this idea, and I knew there'll be a time when this is going to succeed. So that was the main challenge. And then the second time around, I started it all by myself and with no capital whatsoever. So it was even more difficult. But the good thing was the ecosystem was changing. The telecom penetration was improving.
Mani, the company was started with initial capital of 50,000 rupees.
That's right.
Very small amount even for then. So take us through some of the things you did to keep costs extremely low, because on the face of it, you have to build so many listings and so on. So it's quite cash intensive.
It is. So when we started, of course it was 50,000, and we never put in a penny after that. Can you believe it? We built an organization of 4,500 people with no capital put in after that 50,000. But when we started, we had to wait. We had to really do things what otherwise, if you had the money, you could do it in a day's time. We had to wait for weeks, months, years. For example, when we got the first set of 3 phone line connections, we couldn't afford the 15 lines that we needed for our service. So we had to wait for 1 year. Because the waiting for 1 year was 3,000 rupees a phone. If you want instantaneous, it was 15,000 rupees a phone. It took a very small 300 square feet office. It was like musical chair. I would get up and someone else would sit in my chair type of situation.
So initial growth, how was initial growth as compared to growth when the real telecom boom happened?
But definitely after the telecom boom, especially the
So initial growth was slow?
96 actually it got liberalized, so it was growing, rapidly growing. So the telecom penetration was growing, and more importantly, I think the 2000 onwards, the cellular phone penetration
That was the tipping point in your view?
I would say 2004 was the tipping point when it took our service growth to. Actually, we were with such a low base, we are always growing at a like super 60% year on year in terms of usage. But when mobile penetration went in, although the base was going up, we were still growing at those numbers.
So money from 50,000 rupees of capital to now a service which employs 4,000 people?
4,500 people.
And you get over 3 lakh calls per day, right?
We get 300,000 calls per day, and we get 325,000 visitors on the website.
300,000 calls per day, and all of that happens at the core nerve center of JustDial's operation. That's exactly where we're going to go right now. So come, follow me.
Over the years, we have been trying to give wow experience to the users. So we have brought in a lot of personalization, which people love it. And we've leveraged technology to the hill. It's an indigenously developed software. We call it the Genio. And it's an open source technology. From your caller ID, we can make out who the caller is. And we also know what you got called for earlier, In fact, our operators prompt you that also.
The service is so automated that everything a JustDial voice tells you actually pops up as a script right in front of them. The internal search engine Genio is the core of JustDial's operation, one which was built ground up with painstaking effort.
As per government, who says your number is...
But when you're sitting on top of so much personal data which you've got from millions of people who are calling, is there a reason for concern that you've got so much data and you get questions from consumers that, hey, you might misuse my data?
So till there we have not used anybody's data. We only use it for one purpose. So if we give you the information for free, we also inform those customers who pay us money that, hey, this is a caller and this is information. So this is Al calling and this is his information, and that's all. Okay. That's all. And that's for that moment. That's it. Right, and then it goes into cold storage. There's no way anybody can access the data.
So Mani, JustDial is sort of at the top of this telecom meets internet meets mobile revolution, right?
Absolutely.
And so since you're at the top of this, what percentage of your inquiries come from web, come from mobile, come from a telephone? Obviously, general consensus would be that telephone would still be leading, right?
No. In fact, close to 55% of our traffic comes on the internet. 2 years back, obviously, it was like 70% on the voice and 30%, not even 30% on the internet. Okay. Much less.
So this big growth has happened in the last 1 year or so.
Definitely.
There's a lot of buzz also about the mobile internet and mobile applications have caught the fancy of everyone. Yes. So you're betting big on mobile usage for JustDial?
You know, I had a bet with my CTO that the internet traffic will outbeat the voice traffic by this time this year, and he said no way, the voice would always be ahead of internet. And I proved right. And although the voice traffic grew 40% more than the previous year, but the potential for all these mediums is very difficult to guess, because nowadays
you see mobile beating internet 5 years.
I won't be surprised in 2 years. Why 5 years? 2 years from now, mobile internet usage will be far outnumber the PC usage.
Mani, the funny thing about JustDial is that till about 2 years ago, there was hardly any marketing for JustDial, right? How did this whole service become viral then, in your opinion?
Word of mouth. You see, the quality of service, we always focus on wow factor for the users. So if the users are happy, they're going to use it again, and they're going to tell family and friends. Okay. And that's how this viral worked for us. Okay. And
Okay. Is there a message there for entrepreneurs as well that, hey, focus on your product and the marketing will take care of itself?
Definitely. I would say first you get your product right. Be the customer yourself. Right. You must. Even today, I try our service. Voice or web or whatever. All it's constantly, always.
But how do you ensure that every call is actually connected and I picked up within one ring?
Oh, that's, you set a goal first. Right. You say, this is what I want. We want, like, every call should be a first ring pickup. Right. Then you plan the resource. Right. So we kind of spend about 10-12% extra onto our manpower staffing just to achieve that, to give you that wow experience of first ring pickup.
Also, Mani, you're sitting on top of this so-called database of intentions, right? You not only know what people want, but you also know what people are willing to pay for. So what really are people looking for? What are the most search categories on JustDial?
I mean, in terms of the number of usage, you can definitely say restaurants, eating out, entertainment, and all those things are definitely
travel.
Travel, of course, is one of those large categories. Logistics solutions, medical related services. Right. But it varies from monetization could be different.
Okay. So the revenue source so far for JustDial has been SME advertising, SME leads, or
that's right.
Leads from across genres, right? Will that remain the same?
It may seem to be SME, but we also have corporate spending with us. Apart from this, you will see different versions of this. Like you will see coupons and discounts and those things which are in vogue now. Okay. So you will see that out there. Okay. We are also launching a web platform wherein you can buy data. Okay. So if you're a dental chair manufacturer, you're looking for dentists to buy this, so you want to market to them, we will allow you a platform on the web. So you pay online. Instantly you could send emails to a number of dentists across the country.
Another thing you're extremely bullish on is social, right? Right. So on connecting people and reviews and ratings. Right. Give us an inside view on what's in the next growth product path for JustDial.
Just to give you a background on the reviews and ratings. We wanted to have reviews and ratings on our website. We saw that our traffic is about a couple of 100,000 back then when we introduced it, and not many people are actually going and reviewing places. So then there was somebody who said, oh, you know how these reviews and ratings work, you must have ghost writers and they should write about businesses, and then things happen. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. Right. So we said, let's have a combination of internet and people who call our services. Sure. So when people call our services, they call for a piece of information. Let's say you call for a restaurant. Right. The next time you call for something else, we say, hey, by the way, you had called for this restaurant, would you like to rate it? And that really worked like wonders. So that's the first half or first aspect of the thing. The phase 2 is you will get to know what your friends have rated a place.
Okay.
So now we are encouraging people to come and tag their friends.
Okay.
Once you tag your friend, you would see in your social circle pretty much everybody uses JustDial.
Right. But they're not registered online with JustDial.
It's not necessary. You are on the voice also.
Sure.
You could actually tag your friend very soon, calling one of these operators and give 10 friends name. Instantly, within 3 minutes, you can tag all your 10 or 15, 20 friends that matters to you.
The company is expected to hit a turnover of about 200 crores at the end of this year, right? And also you have mentioned that the company is planning to go IPO, and you've already filed your DRHP. So when can we expect to hit the bosses?
We are filing our DRHP. I don't think my CFO will allow me to speak anything beyond this.
Okay.
But yes, we are.
So Mani, there are a number of entrepreneurs watching the show. There's one message you have from Mani, who has scaled up his enterprise and who's built a brand which is now synonymous with every Indian household. What's that message? What would that message be?
Don't give up. Have this die-hard attitude. When you try to do something, there are going to be challenges. But you must see every challenge as an opportunity. That's what we did.
So Mani, it's been a pleasure and honor having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.